Can a sequel that nobody was asking for live up to its beloved predecessor? Hi, welcome to Cinema Journal, and this is my first impression of Pixar's sequel to their 2003 Finding Nemo, Finding Dory. Ellen DeGeneres returns as the voice of Dory, the lovable blue fish suffering from a case of short-term memory loss. A year after the end of the first film, Dory begins to remember tiny snippets of her past as a little baby fish that has her fondly remembering her long-lost parents, voiced by Diane Keaton and Eugene Levy. With the help of her friend Marlin, voiced once again by Albert Brooks, and his son Nemo, the three go all the way to California to a sea life rescue reserve to locate Dory's missing parents as she learns where she came from. It is just 13 years after Finding Nemo was released to universal acclaim and became a box office mega blockbuster that helped solidify Pixar's reputation as a high-quality animated film studio that anyone can enjoy for years to come. For myself, I absolutely adore Finding Nemo, believing it to be one of the most perfect films I've ever seen that carries a big heart with his wonderfully told story, beautiful animation, and an enduring cast of characters, especially of Dory, who is one of my favorite characters ever. So when a sequel was announced, the first thing that came to my head was, why? As beloved as the first film is, I don't think there was much clamoring for a second film. Because I felt that the first film ended on such a perfect note, I think that it is absolutely unnecessary to tack on a second one. And with Pixar's reputation starting to decline a bit, where people are beginning to doubt the flawlessness that the studio once had, and them actually making sequels and even a prequel to their earlier successful films that were met with some mixed results, it does feel as if the studio is experiencing a bit of a dark age. So needless to say, I wasn't excited for this. I didn't feel angry about it, just a little disappointed by Pixar. But as I've learned when it comes to new films that I haven't seen, I will hold my judgment until I finally watch it. And when the first trailer came out, I began to feel a little confident that maybe they aren't trying to cash in on the nostalgia, that maybe they did feel that they could make a good movie out of it. So with an advanced showing at my local theater, I went to go see it, in which there was a fairly sized audience. After the first scene, I was completely sold that the film was made with a genuine heart. And by the end of the film, I felt that I just watched something that is as perfect as Finding Nemo itself. What I enjoyed about this and what I think works so well is how they integrated the two films in terms of Dory's history. Because we didn't get much of her past in the first film, it gives the filmmakers enough freedom to come up with a story without the risk of contradiction or forcing themselves to make it fit. This plays out like a mystery, with Dory's disjointed memories as her clues, and I find myself watching with rapt attention as she tries to find her parents with the help of an octopus named Hank, played by Ed O'Neill, who sort of takes on the role of Marlin for this film. And just like her relationship with Marlin in the first film, the relationship between Dory and this grumpy octopus is just as entertaining with his fast-paced dialogue between them that I love. And the other supporting characters like Destiny, the whale shark, Bailey, the beluga whale, the two sea lions, as well as the missing parents are lovable and fun that helps make this film enjoyable and not make it feel wasted. In fact, I can't think of one negative thing to say about this. I never lost my attention for a second, nor did I felt there was something off-putting about it. It feels like everything fits so perfectly and the pacing never felt too slow or too fast. It was like they actually took their time with this, put in a lot of love and effort, something that Pixar has always been respected for. Dory herself as the main character in her own film works so absolutely well here. People have commented that her whole short-term memory loss and make it the main focus of the film could potentially make her annoying, and that's a trap that they could fall into. They managed to avoid that by not only continuing and keeping her funny and charming because of her short-term memory loss, but also having me feel sympathy for her. As we get to know more and more of her backstory, I couldn't help but feel sorry for her as she tries to struggle with her disability that even she knew that is a major hindrance to herself and a burden to everyone else. So by the end of the film with the climax, I felt myself rooting for her, and in the end, it just made me love her even more. She is such a unique character in film history, there is nobody like her. I'm still blown away by how good this movie is. It seems too easy for me to say that this is as good as the original film. I've watched the first one so many times that I have to watch this more in order to gauge this more thoroughly. I know that there seems to be some sort of rule that most subsequent sequels can't be better than the original, and more often than not, that's usually the case. The one thing that this has this going against is that the first film already captured the magic for so many people after so many years, so this may not impress as many. But for me, it fills my heart with joy whenever I think about it, and I know that I'll watch this back to back with the first one when I get the chance. Thank God that Pixar still got it, and I just might have a little bit more faith when it comes to their sequels. Speaking of which, where the hell is The Incredibles 2?